Three, two, one.
Our world is, kind of like a library of stories. Some are written in books, their pages carefully preserved, but others are etched into the very landscape itself, whispered on the wind across vast plains and hidden in the shadows of ancient mountains. These are the tales of lost kingdoms, of civilizations that rose to spectacular heights, only to vanish, it seems, into the mists of time. One such story, honestly, one of the most remarkable and mysterious, comes from the highlands of Africa. It is the story of the kingdom of Axum, a name that conjures images of immense power, profound faith, and secrets that still lie buried beneath the red earth of Ethiopia and Eritrea, waiting for us to listen. Imagine a kingdom so advanced, so connected to the world, that it stood as an equal to the great empires of Rome, Persia, and China. This was Axum. For nearly a millennium, its influence stretched across the Horn of Africa and across the Red Sea into the Arabian Peninsula. It was a place of extraordinary wealth, not just of gold and ivory, but of ideas and beliefs. The Axumites were pioneers, innovators, and visionaries, building a society that was both uniquely African and profoundly international. Their story is not just a relic of the past, it is a vital chapter in the grand narrative of human history, one that challenges our perceptions of ancient Africa and its place in the world. Long before European explorers spoke of the continent's unwritten history, Axum was writing its own history in stone and coin. Its rulers commanded vast armies and fleets of ships that sailed the bustling trade routes of the ancient world. They minted their own currency, a symbol of their sovereignty and economic might, often inscribed in Greek to communicate with their international partners. To walk through the remnants of this once great kingdom is to feel a sense of profound wonder. It is to ask a fundamental question: how could a civilization of such scale and sophistication fade so completely from the world's memory for so long? The journey to find the answer begins here, in these breathtaking highlands. The air here feels ancient, filled with the presence of ghosts and kings. The story of Axum is a reminder that history is not a simple, linear progression. It is a complex tapestry woven with threads of triumph and decline, of memory and forgetting. As we begin to unravel the story of this lost African kingdom, we are not just looking back at a forgotten time. We are looking into a mirror that reflects the very nature of civilization itself, its incredible potential, its inherent fragility, and its enduring power to inspire awe and curiosity in all who seek to understand our shared human journey across this remarkable planet. Location is everything. The story of any great civilization is deeply connected to the land it occupied, and Axum was no exception. Nestled in the high, fertile plateaus of what is now northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, the kingdom was perfectly positioned to thrive. These highlands offered a temperate climate, reliable rainfall for agriculture, and natural defenses against invaders. But Axum's true genius lay in its strategic location overlooking the Red Sea, one of the most important maritime trade arteries of the ancient world. This was not an isolated kingdom hidden away from the world. It was a bustling, cosmopolitan hub, a true crossroads of continents. From its great port city of Adulis on the coast of modern-day Eritrea, Axumite ships sailed forth, their sails catching the monsoon winds. They connected Africa with the Roman Empire in the Mediterranean, the Persian Empire to the east, and the distant lands of India and Ceylon. Gold, ivory, rhinoceros horn, and frankincense flowed out of Africa, while silk, spices, wine, and handcrafted goods flowed in. Adulis was, honestly, a vibrant melting pot, a city where merchants from Egypt, Arabia, Greece, and India haggled in the markets, sharing not only goods but also languages, technologies, and beliefs. Axum became a bridge between worlds, a place where cultures met and mingled in a dynamic exchange. This constant flow of people and ideas shaped Axumite society in profound ways. It became a multilingual, multicultural kingdom where local African traditions blended seamlessly with influences from abroad. The kingdom's early inscriptions were written in Ge'ez, Greek, and Sabaean, reflecting its diverse connections. This unique cultural fusion was the engine of Axum's creativity and innovation. The Axumites were not merely passive recipients of foreign culture. They were active participants in a global conversation, adapting and transforming ideas to create something entirely new and distinctly their own. Their kingdom was a testament to the power of connection and the incredible things that can happen when different worlds come together. The wealth generated by this trade was staggering, and it funded the ambitions of Axum's powerful kings. It allowed them to build magnificent cities, sponsor monumental architecture, and project their power far beyond their borders. The kingdom's influence was felt across the Red Sea, as Axumite rulers even controlled territories in southern Arabia for a time. This was a true superpower of its day, an African empire whose economic and political reach was felt across 3 continents. Its position as a global crossroads was the very foundation of its strength, the source of its prosperity, and the key to its remarkable and enduring legacy in world history. Every great civilization leaves behind a signature, a unique mark upon the landscape that speaks of its power and its soul. For ancient Egypt, it was the pyramids. For Rome, the Colosseum. For the kingdom of Axum, it was the magnificent stelae, the giant carved obelisks that still pierce the sky over the ancient capital. These are not just stones, they are declarations. Carved from single solid blocks of granite, the largest of them would have stood over 33 meters tall, weighing more than 500 tons. They are feats of engineering that would challenge even modern builders, a breathtaking testament to the ambition, skill, and devotion of the Axumite people. These towering monuments were likely royal grave markers, designed to represent multi-story buildings complete with false doors and windows etched into their surfaces. They were a way for the kings of Axum to project their authority into the heavens, ensuring their legacy would endure for eternity. To stand at the foot of one of these giants is to feel incredibly small, to be humbled by the sheer scale of their vision. The precision of the carving and the immense effort required to quarry, transport, and erect these stones reveal a society that was highly organized, technologically advanced, and deeply committed to honoring its rulers and its connection to the divine. But Axum's legacy is not only written in stone, it is also found in its profound spiritual history. In the 4th century, under the rule of King Ezana, the kingdom underwent a monumental transformation. It became one of the very first states in the world to officially adopt Christianity as its state religion. This decision reshaped Axumite culture and forged a spiritual identity that has endured to this day in the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. King Ezana's coins, which once bore the symbols of the sun and moon, were reminted with the cross, broadcasting this new faith across the trading world. Axum became a bastion of Christianity in Africa, a sacred place of pilgrimage and learning. This spiritual heritage is still vibrantly alive. According to Ethiopian tradition, the city of Axum is the final resting place of the most sacred object in Judeo-Christian history, the Ark of the Covenant. It is said to be housed in a small guarded chapel next to the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion, unseen by any but a single guardian monk. Whether legend or fact, this powerful belief underscores Axum's immense significance as a spiritual center. The combination of its pagan monoliths and its deep Christian roots creates a landscape of fascinating contrasts, a place where different ages of belief and power converge in a single sacred space. Like all the great empires of history, Axum's golden age could not last forever. Its decline is one of history's great mysteries, a slow and silent fading that left more questions than answers. There was no single dramatic event, no final battle that brought the kingdom to its knees. Instead, it seems to have been a gradual unraveling, a convergence of challenges that slowly eroded the foundations of its power. The story of Axum's fall is a sobering reminder that even the mightiest civilizations are vulnerable to the subtle, relentless pressures of a changing world. It teaches us that permanence is an illusion, and that all human endeavors are subject to the cycles of rise and fall. One of the primary drivers of this decline appears to have been environmental. Centuries of intensive farming and deforestation to fuel its growing population and industries may have led to soil erosion and climate change on a local scale. The once fertile highlands may have become less productive, making it harder to sustain the large population and the grand ambitions of the kingdom. At the same time, the world around Axum was changing. The rise of Islam in the 7th century shifted global trade routes away from the Red Sea and toward the Persian Gulf, isolating the kingdom economically and cutting it off from its lifeblood of international commerce. Faced with these mounting pressures, the heart of the kingdom began to shift. The Axumites gradually retreated from the coast, moving their capital further south into the more defensible and agriculturally stable highlands. It was a strategic withdrawal, a turning inward after centuries of looking out at the world. The kingdom did not vanish overnight. It transformed. Its power became more localized, its grand international vision replaced by a more immediate struggle for survival. The great stone monument ceased to be built, and the minting of coins eventually stopped. The giant that had once bestridden the world was slowly, inexorably, falling into a long sleep. Today, as we stand among the ruins and listen to the echoes of this fallen giant, we are left with a powerful sense of humility. The story of Axum is a profound lesson in the impermanence of power and the fragility of even the most advanced civilizations. It urges us to remember the great chapters of human history that have been overlooked and to seek wisdom in their rise and fall. By studying Axum, we learn that no society is immune to environmental change or economic shifts. And so we must continue to explore, to question, and to listen to the whispers of the past. For in the story of this lost African kingdom, we find a timeless truth about our own world and our own place within the grand unending cycle of history.